Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and this is part 2 of my jealousy video, my video on jealousy. So let's get into the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. My last video I said many times, well, sometimes I feel jealous. What I realized is actually envious of other people's relationship with God. We see people close to God. We see people talking about how they're hearing from God, and we're trying to figure out, what do you mean? Like, how do you hear from God? So is it bad then that we're jealous over something that's so good, like having a relationship with God? And the truth is, there's a difference between aspiring to be something and then envying something. I can look at someone and in someone's relationship with God, and I can say, well, I aspire to be like that. I aspire to I'm gonna seek that kind of relationship with God. And then there is envying that person, that bitterness, that resentment. Aspiring comes with positive inspiration and motivation that's hopeful and joyful. Whereas envying comes from negative motivation, negative inspiration that's bitter and resentful. What the enemy tries to do is, that's the thing, when you decide to go for God, automatically a target is on your back. So he will use every ploy, as subtle as it may be, to try and get you away from God and a true relationship with God, which is so abundant and so rewarding, and that's just a whole nother video. Once he places envy in your heart over someone else's relationship with God, the enemy is trying to put you in a position where you become frustrated with yourself, trying to duplicate what you see and what you want from that person, until at the end of the day, because you can't, because you're not that person and you don't have their life and you're not on their lane, you just say, you know what, forget it all, I'm done with it. And then boom, enemy plan succeeded. So if you find yourself in that area where you are envious of someone's relationship, don't be afraid. Don't be like, oh my gosh, the enemy's formed like on me, like, oh my gosh, this is scary, what am I gonna do? God is in control and you belong to God. And the Bible says the tongue speaks life and it speaks death. So you can now speak death, speak rejection to the spirit of jealousy and the spirit of envy, and say, no, I do belong to God. And you know what? Me and God have our own relationship. And I don't need to look left or right. I can just focus on my own relationship, embrace my own lane, and just focus on me. And that's your freedom. So what do I do to overcome jealousy? I remember there was this one particular person that I was really envious of, because I felt like this person was just so beautiful. And to be honest, when I kind of became conscious of the fact that I was envious over that person, I didn't like the feeling of it. I kind of felt like, I don't want to be a hypocrite. Like, that was my thought. I was like, God, I don't want to be someone who's professing you, who's talking about you, who's, representing you, but then I have this hidden thing in my heart of jealousy and envy. And so what I did was, the first step, I was honest with myself. I didn't have a conversation with anybody. I took myself to my own little private space, and I just had a conversation with God on my bed, and I was like, God, I don't want to feel this. I don't want this a part of me, and I know I can feel that it's a sin. I can feel that it's something that's destructive, that's not going to benefit me or the person. I was like, so I don't know how to give you things, because everyone's like, oh, let go and let God. But I was like, here, like, I did this. I was like, you can have it. I don't want it. Please take this from me. It's hard to hate someone when you're praying over them, because even though I didn't know this person, and that was the most ironic part, I was envious over someone I didn't even know. Even though I didn't know this person, I started to form judgments about them. Like, I started to form like this dislike for them. And to me, that was very scary. And so I said a prayer. That's the second step. First, I was honest with myself about what I was feeling and where I was at. Then I brought that to God, because he meets you right where you're at. And sometimes when you feel like God isn't speaking to you, it's because he wants you to get to that point where you can see for yourself where you're at. So I said this prayer to God. I said, God, I don't want to be jealous and I don't want to be envious. I said, so help me to love this person like you love them, and help me to see this person like you see them. I kid you not. Every time I saw this person, I would have to kind of discipline myself. I'd have to be like, not be fake, not be like, oh, hi, oh my gosh, I love you, love your hair. And then when she turns around, be like, girl, whatever. Because many times the people we're envious of, we actually do admire them. So I'll be like, oh, like, I love your hair, I love your shoes, girl, this outfit is so cute. And I would mean it. I would mean what I said. I would just try to execute love. The more and more I did that, and the more and more I prayed, every time I kind of felt overwhelmed with the feeling of like envy and jealousy, God, help me to love them like you love them, and help me to see her like you see her. I actually started to see the good in this person. I was like, wow, like, this is a really cool person. And then I kind of felt so aware of just how unnecessary and just how scary and destructive and evil jealousy and envy was, because I was like, why would I have that energy for her? Like, she's such an amazing person. Like, she's not perfect, but she's so cool. And that made me feel aware of the jealousy and the envy, but it also made me feel bad for it, like repentant of it. And it was like, it was easier for me to let that go, because it was like, I don't want it. It was like this piece of trash that I was like, that's gonna make me smell bad. I don't want it. And then, remember I told you my prayer was, God, help me to see this person like you see them? As I started to just have conversations and stuff like that, nothing big, nothing major, this person would start to open up about like their insecurities. And I'll be like, wow, like, I didn't know she was insecure about that. If I'm honest with you guys, I think she might have been kind of envious over me, because she would say certain things and make certain comments, and I'll be like, why I kind of feel like, you comparing yourself to me. And that was funny to me, because I was thinking to myself, I'm here envious of this girl, and I think she's envious of me. That is how I was jealous, that is how I was envious, and that is how I overcame it. I hope that this just gives you that little motivation to have some self-reflection. Be honest with yourself, see what the Bible says about jealousy, Google it, and I will see you lovely people in my next video. See you later. It's like, there's something about social media that it's like, it kind of feeds itself off jealousy. Like, I'll watch ads and on social media and even on TV, and they'll be like, you can make your friends jealous with this app. Like, if it's a Photoshop app or something, like, that's literally their marketing scheme. You can make your friends jealous. I'm like, first of all, you shouldn't be trying to make anybody jealous. Second of all, what kind of friend are you to want to make your friends jealous of you? Like, there was just so much wrong with that statement. And I was like, dang, like, this world is so messed up. It's so dark. So anyway, I hope I covered everything.